We realize our homeless feeding and drug rehabilitation programs don't always match eye to eye with the dreams and vision of the city planners here in Leesburg.
I thought the movie had a lot of really inspiring moments to it. I want to know what kind of excited you when you first read the script.
Well, the story is tremendous. Cecil Johnson's real story, and the fact that it's a true story, it's so inspiring and so wonderful. And it's the kind of project that I want to be associated with. And Pastor Cliff Lee, who I play in the film, that is maybe the nicest man on the planet. He's such a great guy. I don't know if I did him justice by playing him or not, but he is such a great guy. And I love to be a part of a film that has such a great, wonderful, inspiring message.
And he really was fighting for like what really it means to be a Christian, right? I mean, like giving to the poor and helping the needy. Why was there such opposition with like even other church members?
Well, a lot of people will say, that's what we do. That's what we're supposed to do, but they don't really want it to happen in their neighborhood. And that's the part of, sort of being an elevated Christian. I guess, we don't want to mess with the story. It's great that we're going to help the poor, but let's help them over there. Well, no, Cliff wanted to buy the Good Samaritan Inn, turn it into a homeless shelter. The homeless explosion at that time in Florida that was sort of the epicenter, and he was doing that right thing as a Christian that you should do. And he met with that opposition because a lot of people don't want to get their hands dirty. They don't want they felt like, some people said, it encourages you take in one stray cat, and all of a sudden there's 12 stray cats. And there's some validity to their arguments in that sense. And I can see why people would say that. At the same time, if you're going to call yourself a Christian and you really want to do good for people, that's what you do. And Cliff's faith, it gets tested in the film quite a bit, but his faith was very strong, and he knew what he was doing was right. And it's wonderful to see that the community came together. And I don't want no spoiler alerts here, but the community comes together. For those of you who haven't seen this yet, they come together and support in a way that I liken to like It's a Wonderful Life. I think it's phenomenal. And when that happens, it's so humbling, and it's almost embarrassing. That everyone turns, and then you're like, wow, I didn't feel that support when I was making this decision by myself and having my conversations with God about doing the right thing here. I know I'm supposed to be doing the right thing. Help me out. And then everybody does it. It's kind of awesome. It's a God thing, as he says in the movie.
So, and because this is a real story, were you able to go to any of the centers, or is that, where you guys shot? Was that one of the centers, or? We
shot at the center.
Okay.
We shot at the Good Samaritan Inn. We shot right there. It's all right there. It was incredible. And I'm like, this is the inn right here. Okay. We're walking around and looking around, and we shot the real shots where he's walking around looking at the Good Samaritan Inn and at these places and within the center. And I was like, wow, we don't have to pretend, we're here. So that's one less thing we have to pretend about. And it was great. I'd see Cliff, I'm like, I'm doing a good job being you today. Trying to be you. He's much taller than me. I couldn't play the tall part very well. He's like 6'4". He's a big guy, but it was wonderful. And we'd meet other members of the church community that were playing. I'm like, wait a minute, you're him? Oh, and then we got to all get together, which I thought was really fun, and meet all of our real people. I got to meet Cliff early on, but obviously Cecil Johnson has passed away, so you couldn't see TC Stallings with him, but he got to be with his wife, and it was just it really felt like a big community and a family coming together making the film. It was wonderful. So it was a great experience all the way around.
So those other stories were true stories as well. Cecil's character and everything, those were true stories.
100% true. And Cecil's character to me is obviously the most compelling story. It's incredible. And TC Stallings does a great job. I mean, he is phenomenal. And I knew in the read through, I was like, wow, look out. Here comes TC, and he's bringing the hammer, because it's such a big role. It's he does such a great job. I love his performance.
Yeah, he did a great job, and he's a great dude. He's got a great heart. So
he does. Yeah.
So hoping, kind of because the message of a little bit in there is, as Christians, we need to do this. What do you hope, Christians who go see it, what are you hoping that they get from it? The same message, right?
Yeah, I do. I really want them to get the same message. We look at it now here in California, we have half the nation's homeless here in California, and we're not doing the right things to help them. Christian or not Christian, our government is not doing the right thing. And if it means, reaching out through churches and things, wonderful, do that. Churches will do that on their own, but the government should be doing much more. And hopefully, if it doesn't change, other Christians and call them into action, if it gets people who aren't Christian to do the right thing, and that is doing the right human thing, it's a real problem. I mean, you see it here every single time you go for a drive anywhere in Southern California. It's horrific. And it's kind of being encouraged in a weird way by our government. And it's not the right thing to do. Give people a hand up. You don't have to always give them a hand out, but give them a hand up, give them a path to, and we have the funds and the ability to do it here in California. We're just not doing the right thing.
Exactly what the movie is saying is what we should be doing for people, helping them to get better, to get back on their feet, helping them to be able to get their own job, to be on their own, right? And
it's the hand up instead of the hand out. Yeah. We're just giving them, hey, just don't do anything. Just stay on the dole. Don't do anything. You don't need a path to get better or do anything better. We'll give you needles so you don't, spread whatever. Things like that you're not helping. And you look at Cecil's story and you go, wow, okay, there's a man who found everything and lived a wonderful, you can just see him, the character, he just beams with happiness and fulfillment. And it's great. And there are so many out there. I drive by them all the time and you see them and I look in their faces and I think, man, what does that guy need? What does that woman need? How did they get here? And how can we help lift them up? And hopefully that'll be the message that other people get from the movie.
And also, there's a great message with the journalist who's going through questions of faith. Can you talk more about her message with that one?
Sean Young plays the journalist. I forget the character's name. Brandy Michaels. I got it in front of me. And Sean is she's phenomenal, and she she can certainly play the sarcasm and things of that nature, which her character does, but then finds the heart in what's really happening, and her own struggles that she's going through, while just being downsized and moved from a big paper to our little podunk area in Leesburg, and then having to cover, feel good church stories, which is exactly what she doesn't want to do. And then having a brother who's having sort of the same problems as Cecil, but on a different level. And so it's really wonderful that for her story of being able to give her brother the help, the hand up that he needs, and the guidance that he needs, and the support that he needs, after watching what happens with Cecil and the story of our church. I mean, I think it's wonderful. And she does a great job.
So when you're doing these faith-based movies, does it help with your own faith, to be in the Word every day, or to be praying, or just be thinking about these concepts and stuff?
100%, because you're around people who are of a similar ilk and a similar mindset, and something they may say may touch you in a different way. And because you're so aware of the stories and the things you're talking about, it's 100%. That's what I started making some faith-based films with my son coming out to set. And I wanted him to be able to be on set and be around these types of people and hear these kind of messages and see these kind of stories so that he understood, what people can go through and how they can come out the other side. We all make mistakes. We all get down, and if we get that hand up, whether it's God's hand lifting you or through someone else, God helping lift you up, that it's I think it's wonderful to be a part of those. And I like to be around those types of people who are doing that kind of a positive thing. Now, at the same time, I still make other movies. I make movies where, I wouldn't say, you watch this movie and take away something from it. But, I would say, watch this movie if you just want to watch some action and realize it's make believe. But that's part of being
for that.
Yes, there's a place for that.
So your son, would he be, do you think you've excited him about the industry, or because his dad's doing it, he's like, I don't want anything to do with it?
I think at first it was because his dad's doing it. I don't want anything to do with it. But now that he's getting older, he's starting to appreciate it a lot more. So I don't know. He was in this. I did a film this summer that I wrote, produced, directed, and starred in called Little Angels. That's just finished now and just going out to distributors now. He looks at that. He goes, "That was fun. I enjoy doing that." I can kind of feel him. I feel it coming around. And if he wants opportunity, he'll get opportunity, because I like to have my son around me and with me. And I mean, you understand how that feels with family. I really enjoy that. And so if he wants to, I would be extremely happy. But he's a video game designer right now. He's working on being a video game designer. And there's a way those two worlds can merge. I know they can.
Unreal Engine.
Unreal Engine. He works on it every day. Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
See, he's going to do well then.
Yeah. He's at a school called High Point University in North Carolina, and they call themselves a God, country, and God, family, and country school. The American flag is everywhere, and and he, he had struggled at times there, and sometimes he felt like things. Now he's hit his stride, and it's wonderful, and I'm glad that he had the fortitude to carry on and stay in school and do what he's doing now. And I'm watching him grow up. I mean, I hear it on the phone. I'm like, oh my gosh. He's really growing up now, and it's wonderful, but it's also, he's still my baby. So it's a weird thing. Of course, he's 2.5 inches taller than me. I'm like, come here, my little boy. And it's odd, but yeah, he's doing really well.
It's the best role in the world to be a parent, right? I mean, it's crazy. God humbled you through it, but there's nothing like it. Yeah.
There is nothing like it. It's the greatest thing I've ever been a part of. I look at my life in like little sections, and that's the best part of my life has been since he's been on this planet, because it sort of opens everything in your mind. You're not the most important person in your own world anymore. Someone else's happiness and comfort is more important. I remember there's a saying someone said that you're only as happy as your least happy child.
Oh,
which I get. I believe it 100%. Since I only have one, I got a lot resting on that kid's head. But
welcome to Hope.